everybody, welcome back to Making Stuff with Mrs. Baroody. I'm Mrs. Baroody, and today we're going to be reading one of my favoriteest books in the whole wide world called The Giving Tree. And we're going to be doing a project on how to draw some trees. It's not going to be as easy as you think it's going to be. Let's check it out. Alrighty then, so this is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. And we're going to take a look at our book. We're going to read it together, and then I'm going to show you the project you're going to do at the end and give you some tips and tricks on what to do to make yours successful, okay? And one thing I love about this book, it's one of my mostest favoriteest books, is the outside has this lovely green cover, but on the inside, all of the images are black and white, and I really, really like that. Once, there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day, the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. And then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I'm too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I only have leaves and apples." "Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city, and then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house." "But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree, "and then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I'm just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down. Sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. And that's the end. Great story, right? So when we look back at the story and think about our tree, the giving tree, she gave and gave and gave to the little boy. She gave everything until she thought she had nothing left. And the little boy, I don't think he was a little selfish, wasn't he? He kept asking and asking and asking, but he wasn't really giving anything to the tree. And the tree, I think all she wanted was her friend back. So at the end, when he came back, I think maybe he understood, I need to be with my friends, the people that I love. And the tree just wanted him to be around, and she was happy that he was back. So when we think about the tree, we think of her being selfless. She gives and gives and gives, and she doesn't think about herself. She just wants her friend to be happy. So when you are home right now, it's a difficult time, and it's easy to be selfish. It's easy for me to say, I'm sad today. I don't want to do this. But what might help us be a little happier is if we make somebody else happy. So if we are a little selfless like the tree and give something to somebody, that might make them happy, and that'll make us happy. So your project is to make a tree of something that you can give to somebody else. Maybe it's somebody in your family. And realistically, maybe it's not something you can give to somebody. I can't give something to everybody in the world, but I could pick somebody I could give something to. So the tree example that I made is my tree of color. I made a little sign. So I made a tree of color because what I can do is share my art like I share it with you guys, and I share it with my friends and family. I might make a pretty card and send it to somebody, and that's going to make their day a little better. Even if they never say thank you, I know that I did something to help them out. So when you look at my tree, it's not super realistic. It's got these curvy, crazy branches, and I used a Sharpie marker for the outline, and then I used colored pencils to color it in. And you can see, this is what I always warn us about. If we press down too hard on our paper, see those lines? That was a tree branch that I ended up erasing, but I pressed too hard with my pencil. So when you're drawing, make sure that you're using your pencil nice and lightly. So some tips for your tree. You could make it a tree of Legos. Maybe you build a Lego house for your brother. Maybe it's a tree of vegetables. Crazy, because you are going to plant a garden and share it with your neighbors, okay? It could be a tree of anything, appropriate for school. So when we draw something that grows, if it's a tree, if it's a flower, if it's anything, I like to start from the ground up and from the trunk or the stem out. So if we look at my tree here, I drew the trunk first, and then I started drawing the branches. And I'm going to show you here on my paper. I'm going to use my Sharpie marker just so you can see the lines a little bit better. And you can have your paper horizontal like this, or you can have it vertical like my tree of color paper. So we're going to pretend this is a pencil. It's a marker though. So I'm going to be even kind of sketchy with my marker. So I start with my trunk, and maybe this one has a big root system. Okay, this is going to be a fat tree. So when I draw my branches, we start on the trunk and we go out from the trunk. If we start out here and go in, you end up having something I call French fry branches. Okay, it's not good. So I start with a big fat trunk. On my trunk, it's going to branch out into several different branches. I'm going to go nice and slow. There's another part of the branch. Maybe this one's going to be a skinnier branch, so it comes off this way. And this branch goes this way. I'm going to make a branch go up this way. Whoop. So whenever I do my branches, I'm always starting on an existing branch. I'm never starting out here and coming in. It doesn't make any sense, kids. It will not work. And I keep going until I'm happy with my branch. Maybe that one ends there. I think Bob Ross would enjoy this tree. He always liked happy little trees. And tree branches crisscross each other. So these are going to go in front of each other. On my swirly twirly tree, I made all the branches kind of separate. They don't overlap each other. Totally fine. This, not a super realistic tree. This one looks a little bit more real, okay? So let's think about what I can make this tree for. So maybe this tree is a tree of cookies, because I love to bake, and I'm actually going to bake this afternoon for some friends and send them some cookies. So before I get too far, maybe I start putting some cookies on my branches. And they could be all kinds of cookies. Maybe I make these ones chocolate chip cookies. Why not? Okay, maybe some cookies have fallen off the tree just like leaves would. Okay, I'm doing a pretty good job with my marker. All right, you're going to do much neater than I am. So when you draw your tree, just remember to start with the tree trunk and then draw from the trunk out. We don't want to start out here and go in. That doesn't make any sense. And when you're using your pencil, I know we're still working hard on our pencil grip, you can hold it right down here at the bottom, totally fine. But if you want to practice making those light lines, moving your hand back a little bit so it's back here, you're going to get a much lighter line than if you hold it up here, right? So this is darker and this is lighter. This is further away, closer to the tip. Okay? Whatever you decide to do, make sure that you are being safe, both with your art and in real life. You are being kind, like our giving tree, and you're being creative. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!